Hey, what's up? Welcome to my podcast once again, and just want to be able to share some information that will hopefully be helpful to you as you think through worship and leading a team of worshipers and all that type of thing. Today's question comes from Michelle in my home state, Tennessee, and it says this: I'm facing resistance from some of our staff and congregation on introducing new songs into our worship services. How should I approach this resistance, as I do think there's a good portion of our church that is hungry for new songs? Well, that's an interesting question. It's a good question. I'm always a huge fan of bringing new songs into the church. However, I think there's a huge balance to this. I feel that I'm not a person who would say we should throw out the old songs, we should throw out the old hymns. I feel like the old hymns are a real foundation for where music started, worship starts. But I do think that we need to constantly be bringing fresh worship to the Lord. I feel like if people are still singing the same Jeff Deyo songs 50 years from now, I think we're going to be in the same trouble as people who are still singing some of the old hymns, and that's their core of their worship, because we kind of begin to make it about a song. If I sing this particular song, then I can get into the presence of God, or I can really get connected to God. It becomes about a certain song, whereas really it's about God and who He is, and we should be able to enter into His presence with any song or even without a song. But we should be continually bringing fresh praise and worship to God, fresh songs. So one of the things that I would say practically that you can do when you're feeling some resistance, first of all, I have to say this: it's really important to operate in submission to your leadership. So if your pastor or someone over you, your boss, is saying, look, not so many new songs or no more new songs, it's important to operate in submission and to recognize their authority over you and to trust God to move their hearts. And that's where you move into a place of prayer, and you begin to pray and you begin to intercede that God would either change your heart or change their heart, or bring you to a place, middle ground, where you can agree and begin to add and incorporate some new things in. If there is some openness to incorporating some new songs, but still some resistance, one of the things that I recommend is that you can kind of take some old songs and make them new. That helps you, and it also helps them. It helps bring freshness, gets people out of their ruts. Maybe take an old song and revamp the arrangement, change the chords, or even be gutsy enough you could change the melody on a song that's really familiar. But anything you can do, maybe you can take a slower old song and make it a little faster, make it a little bit more rocking, to still have a familiar aspect to the song, but then bring a freshness to it as well. I would also then, of course, intermix some old songs and new songs. If it's as simple as, hey, just make sure that you include one hymn in every service, then do that. But make sure that you're not bringing too many new songs in. The congregation sometimes has a hard time following if you're going to teach them 3-4 new songs every week. So maybe it's important to just bring one or maybe two at the most that would be new, depending on how simple they are. And then you can help them, because the point is not to bring them a song that you love and you're like, wow, I want to really show these people this song. The point is to do what's best for the people, whatever is best for them. And now sometimes they would say, oh, well, then that means we should do all songs that we're familiar with. No, because comfortable is not necessarily what is best for everyone. But whatever we can do to help people connect with God in a real way. So if a new song is going to do that, then bring it on. But you also might, one of the things that will help you in bringing new songs to the table would be to kind of teach people you want to introduce this particular song. It's not just that we're, hey, this is another great song, another great melody, clap your hands, all you people, let's go. It's, hey, you know what, this song has really touched me in my personal worship time, and here's a scripture that this song is based on, and you read that scripture and it helps people understand why they're singing a particular song and what the goal of singing that song is. That really helps people, and it helps endear them to that song so much better. I think another thing that's important is to help people with new songs is to teach them scriptural principles. One of the things you can use is Psalm 40 talks about singing a new song to the Lord, and how that new song in and of itself and the testimony that that song brings will cause many people to fear and to turn to the Lord. So that's important. Just make sure you use Scripture in whenever you bring something new to the congregation. It helps. It just helps pave a way, I guess I would say, for you to do something that may be a little bit out of the box, or a little bit abnormal, or a little bit new. It helps people be able to move more easily and smoothly with you in that transition if you use Scripture. So anyways, hopefully that is encouragement to you, and we'll see you next time on the next Jeff Deyo podcast.